Can you believe Pixel has been around for 10 years? It's time to meet the all-new Google Pixel 10 Pro. Hey friends, I'm Tasia Custode and we're hands-on with Pixel 10 Pro. In fact, I'm fresh off Made by Google 2025 in New York City, and I've been putting in the work when it comes to Pixel 10 Pro. I've been borrowing this review unit from Google, and that means it's time to cover all the best Pixel 10 Pro features, including all the AI goodies packed inside. So let's jump into those tech specs. Pixel 10 Pro features a 6.3-inch Super Actual display that's brighter than 9 Pro, offering 3300 nits peak brightness. It's got that same Gorilla Glass Victus 2 cover glass as last year's model, and sleek, minimal, uniform bezels that we've come to know and love. You're gonna notice a polished metal frame and a silky matte glass back that really feels so nice and smooth in hand. If you don't have a case on it, of course. And upgraded this year is a metallic G logo and a diamond cut camera bezel. And yes, that temperature sensor is still going strong on Pixel 10 Pro. If you've got a Pixel 8 Pro, 9 Pro, or either variant, do you use this Pixel temperature sensor? I was a huge fan of it from the jump, but I haven't actually used it much lately, which is a good thing because I haven't had to take my temperature in a while, knock on wood. Let me know your practical use cases for the temperature sensor in the comments below, but for now, let's wrap up on these tech specs. Pixel 10 Pro has 16 gigabytes of RAM and comes with either 128 gigabytes, 512 gigabytes, or 1 terabyte of storage. And most exciting, this baby's processor is the Google Tensor G5 chip, which you know I'm gonna touch on later. But let's talk camera specs, because you know how much I love the camera system on a Pixel, and we have a major upgrade this year that just might blow your mind. On the front, Pixel 10 Pro has the same 42 megapixel camera we saw on 9 Pro, offering up to 4K video recording in 30 or 60 frames per second. But this Pro triple rear camera system, ooh, that's my love language. While it still offers a 50 megapixel main camera, it's got improved stabilization on this year's model. It's also got the 48 megapixel ultra wide and a 48 megapixel telephoto. But the telephoto lens now offers up to 100 times ProRes zoom. Yes, you heard me right. 100 times ProRes zoom is a certified game changer that I will go over in just a little bit. Because what can I say? Good things come to those who wait. Something else new this year is Pixel 10 Pro's always-on display. It can now show full-screen wallpaper. This gives it a more seamless ambient feel. Now, I mentioned that Tensor G5 processor, and that's really what's powering the Pro AI performance of this device. You should notice faster web browsing, app launching is more efficient, and Tensor G5 is really what's responsible for all that AI goodness packed into the device. It's working overtime to deliver enhanced AI capabilities, including faster on-device Gemini Nano model performance, which we'll get into, and a more powerful TPU. And speaking of AI capabilities, shall we go over them all? There are so many, we could really use a dedicated video just on the AI capabilities of this device, but I digress. Let's start with one of the many game changers of Pixel 10 Pro, and it's something I think is getting us closer to agentic AI, and that's Magic Q. And as we progress through this, keep in mind Magic Q is available on the entire Pixel 10 lineup, 10, 10 Pro, 10 Pro XL. Magic Q uses the on-device Gemini Nano AI model along with that Tensor G5 chip to offer proactive contextual assistance across your apps. So you're gonna opt in or out using Magic Q, but once you allow Magic Q updates, it's going to pull information from Gmail, Calendar, Messages, Keep, screenshots, and contacts in order to deliver you helpful actions that are relevant to your current context. So think if you're chatting or calling or searching. So as an example, if you call a business, Magic Q proactively shows you info about any bookings, purchases, reservations, or appointments with that business. It even works, say, in the weather app, where it'll deliver suggestions for upcoming travel or activities you might have going on. It's really built to surface the information that you need when you need it, so you don't have to switch out to another app. Like I said, It's a game changer. Side note, who's keeping track of how many times I say game changer in this video? Anyway, also powered by Tensor G5 and Gemini Nano is Voice Translate, a way to translate your call in real time in what sounds like each speaker's voice. So to be clear, this is different from Live Translate, as this is the ability to translate your voice during an actual phone call while mimicking your natural tone of voice. This happens on device, which is useful for the speed of real-time translation, and that also offers better privacy during your calls. Currently, Voice Translate works when translating to or from English with Spanish, German, Japanese, French, Hindi, Italian, Portuguese, Swedish, Russian, and Indonesian. Do you know how helpful this would have been when traveling Italy and trying to communicate with my relatives when neither of us speak each other's language? You know what I'm gonna say. Game changer. And yes, Voice Translate is available on the entire Pixel 10 lineup. But believe it or not, that's not all the AI-powered goodies on board. So let's shift just a little bit to focus on the AI-powered camera capabilities, because I swear to you, each of these features just gets more mind-blowing than the next. You've been warned. You can now ask Photos to edit for you. Let me say that again. You can ask Photos to do your editing for you. In Google Photos, you can simply ask Photos what edits you want to make by prompting it just like you would in Gemini. And bingo, bango, the edits are applied. You can be specific or vague. Like in this example, I just said fix this because I had no idea how to improve the photo. I just wanted it improved. With the help of Gemini models, Google Photos understands, it interprets, and then it instantly applies the edits to your request to get the results you want. Holy guacamole, look at this difference. I feel like I can see where this is going because you know I love all the crazy AI editing capabilities of a Pixel, and now it's almost as if we're not going to have to physically tap into each thing. We're just going to be able to ask for what we want and then it's there. But I will save all of that for my complete camera review for you on the Pixel 10 Pro. But okay, game changer. But if you're counting, there are still two other Gemini-powered camera features that I owe you, and we're gonna start with Camera Coach. This is going to take, let's say, Instagram boyfriend to hype husband right quick. Trademark pending on hype husband. With the help of Gemini models, Camera Coach quite literally guides you to better framing and shot composition. It does this by analyzing the scene and suggesting shots, allowing you to follow step-by-step on-screen instructions to get a way better photo, even if you're a noob. Yes, please. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Please, who's even still watching this? Only true custodians. And here's your reward, 100 times ProRes zoom. Hold on to your hats. 100 times ProRes zoom is powered by a new on-device AI generative imaging model, and once downloaded, it's going to allow you to zoom in further than you could ever imagine. The new generative AI model and that Tensor G5 chip help create detail at extreme zoom levels, going beyond the old and still impressive super res zoom, because this is using that generative AI to essentially fill in the missing detail in real time, resulting in a crisper result. Even if there is a debate online about what constitutes a photo and where does AI come in and where does that line blur. I don't want to hear it. This is just plain and simple cool. Can we not enjoy something for what it is? Awesome. Anyway, this works best on landmarks and landscapes, and it won't work on people. So message to you, you little creep. Better luck next time. And by the way, Pixel 10 Pro and 10 Pro XL users get a free year of Google AI Pro. So let's touch on battery life and the new Pixelsnap charger. Google says you'll get 30 plus hours of battery life on Pixel 10 Pro with fast wired charging using a 30-watt charger. And let's get an amen for the all-new Pixelsnap magnetic wireless charger that comes alone or with a stand. For Pixel 10 Pro, it offers up to 15 watts, and yes, this is MagSafe compatible. I traveled to Vegas to see BSB, and I brought my trusty Anker 3-in-1 MagSafe charging station, and look at this baby Pixel 10 Pro charging away. And yes, you can set up a screensaver too. Love. So here are my final thoughts for what it's worth. The Pixel 10 Pro is a win for so many reasons, a lot of which for me are all the AI-powered goodies baked right in. That 100 times ProRes zoom is a certified game changer. But the camera system on Pixel 10 Pro is really the standout for me. Of course it is. That combined with the computational photography mastery and generative AI make it a winner. You guys know I use my Pixel as my go-to camera, and I have since my 5A. I also love the size of Pixel 10 Pro, as the XL is just a little bit big in my hand and I typically need 2 hands to operate it. So you really need to ask yourself, how are you going to use a device? Because the biggest difference between Pixel 10 and 10 Pro is really the camera system and that 100 times zoom. If that's important to you, you're gonna wanna go with a Pro model that starts at $999. Ain't she pretty? So what do you think of Pixel 10 Pro? Will you be grabbing one? And what are your favorite features? Let everyone know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, well, I want to know. So give it a like, a share, or you can leave that comment below. You can click right about here to subscribe to my channel. And here for even more Pixel goodness. Thanks for watching. See you next time.